Salam sejahtera. Apa khabar semua? Selamat kembali ke Podcast Lagenda Zelda. Welcome back, guys. So, of course, I'm Reez, your host. And this time around, we have one of our pretty usual panel as well. Harry, how's it going, Harry? How's everything?
Hey, hello. Thanks for inviting me back.
Of course. Yeah, very excited to discuss about our topic today with you. Topik hari ni gonna be a bit special for Harry, of course, I think, because as usual, we're gonna be talking a lot about Zelda in our podcast session. And today, we are gonna do a very deep dive review of one of Harry's favorite Zelda game, maybe even one of his favorite game ever made. So Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So kita akan buat deep dive review Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. A very iconic kind of game yang kita akan discuss sekejap lagi. But before that, of course, just not get a bit of update from Harry lah. How's it going, Harry? How's your gaming adventure has been around for the last 1 week since our last session?
The only thing I played, I think I shared with you in my own podcast that I got this retro handheld thing. Basically the whole thing is called It's called an Embernic RG35XX Plus. It's a mouthful.
Oh, nice.
But basically it's a retro handheld. I've been playing only one game, which is Metroid Zero Mission.
Wow, that is an amazing game. That's an amazing game. Nice.
I have a lot of fun with it. I think while playing Dread, right, I thought, okay, this is a good game, but maybe the others I'm not really into it. But with Zero Mission, right, I think I'm a fan lah, because although they have followed the similar formulas, but I have a lot of fun with this game, the puzzling and stuff. I realized that as time goes by, right, I want a game that I can actually just start the game, immediately get into the action.
Correct, exactly. You're right, and usually Metroid are this kind of game. You're right. You don't. We always love a game where there's a background to it, right? But kadang-kadang we just need to be playing those games that just don't have to think a lot. Terus start terus main, je kan? And Metroid is those kind of game, kan? And I'm a big fan of Metroid. And Zero Mission is one of the best, I would say. Fusion is okay. It's very linear. I would say Fusion is linear, but Metroid Zero is you can see there's a lot of they don't guide you a lot lah. So they don't hand guide you a lot. So you need to be very creative. Unlike Fusion, it's gonna be very linear. So you'll just go through whatever they tell you to do, kind of stuff. Because sorry. Untuk a Metroid game, kan? Metroid. Well, again, this goes back to way back then when they created the first Metroid game, then Metroid, Super Metroid. The idea of trying to break the sequence has always been the main agenda for those kind of games, Metroidvania kind of games. So you want to break the sequence so that you can, and then for games like Fusion, you don't get a lot of those. But it's still a fun game. But I think Zero Mission is one of my favorite lah.
Yeah, definitely enjoy quite a lot lah. So I can't wait to play more of it. It does have a little bit of guidance. Like once they have a waypoint, so-called a waypoint, objective area. Once you get there already, it's either you have to collect something or fight a boss. Then after that, they tell you where to go lah. But they just show that only. That's about it. And I realized that what I really like about this game is that these days I only can play at night after I finish my work. Usually it's quite late already. I like a game right that I can just be on my bed and then just play. I don't have to listen to anything.
Yes.
I can just
exactly.
I don't have to really listen to what's going on. I can just play.
Yeah,
that's why I think I love these games these days that's so super duper narrative, cinematic and stuff. Like, that's appeal to me, right? Because if I play that, that means I kind of need to know what's going on. Like where am I in the storyline?
I agree.
I don't have time for that.
Sangat bersetuju.
Yeah, so
I agree. I'm at the same kind of boat as well. That's why I like games that young. Not to say that I don't like narrative kind of game. Not to say that I hate them, but at this point of time, at least in this point of my life, I want something that I can just pick up and play, and then that's it. So I don't have to, right? So and then those games like Metroid really do that, right? And that's definitely one of my things. Just not get a bit detail on your new gadget again. Have you tried PS1 games? Have you tried any PS1 games
Let's see.
or PSP games? Yeah.
PSP haven't. I mean, originally the this thing come with a bunch of ROMs, but then
Okay.
because I'm old guy lah.
Reformat it.
I
Yeah.
reformat it because I need to update it. So
Okay.
my games are gone. So what I do is I actually just download lor, whatever games I have in mind.
Okay.
PSP haven't tried yet. PSP is sort of the
Okay.
highest bar already for this one. Some games work, some games doesn't. I
Okay.
haven't tried yet. But in
Okay.
terms of PlayStation game, okay, I'll give you a few lah that I downloaded. These are games I
Mm.
am interested.
Mm.
Bomberman Fantasy Race, the one that is kind of like
Okay.
Mario Kart but Bomberman with
Mm.
rabbits. I played it a
Okay.
lot last time. Digimon
Okay.
Rumble Arena.
Nice.
Of
Okay.
course, it
That's
has to have.
amazing.
Digimon World,
Mm.
of course, it has to have.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, this one it's my own guilty pleasure lah. I'm not sure is it popular or not, but Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear,
Oh. Okay. Okay.
I
I played the game
play a
before. Yeah.
lot.
I.
This one,
Yeah. Yeah.
the next game is a game that I saw my neighbor got it. That's the reason why I want to get a PlayStation. Is G Darius.
Mm.
It's basically like a shoot 'em up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Darius is a very popular shoot 'em up brand already, one. But G Darius
Okay.
basically
Okay.
bring everything into a 3D perspective.
Mm.
It's sort of like a 2.5D lah. Is it? You're in the
Okay.
you're playing your enemy. Everything is 3D models, but you're still playing like a shoot 'em up lah. So it's pretty fun. For my
Nice.
wife, Harvest Moon Back to Nature. My wife loved
Mm.
this game a
Yeah.
lot. And I added the last one, The Misadventures of Tronbon, the one that's related
Okay.
to Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Mm.
Okay. Well, once you got the chance to try those PSP game, I just want to know one thing: can that thing play Final Fantasy Tactics, the War of the
It
Lion?
does. It's a PlayStation 1 game, right?
No, that one, the Final Fantasy Tactic is PlayStation 1 game,
Uh-huh.
but the War of the Lion is the PSP version of it.
I have
It's
to,
it's it's
I have
it's
to check. I have to check.
yeah. If you got a chance, give it a shot, and once you've can see the quality of it, yeah, flag me. But because I don't think for a game like Final Fantasy Tactic, I don't think it's very demanding. But then again, let's well, because there's again, I don't want to go way back to this, but back then when they released Final Fantasy Tactics for PSP, which is the War of the Lion, they had some issue with the spell lag. I don't know, when you do a spell,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
then it will lag out kind of stuff. But then they didn't fix that. But somehow fan base was too strong. They fixed it, that issue, and then they were sharing those I don't know what, I think it's called ISO for PSP. It calls ISO. So
Okay.
and that fixed the game and became really enjoyable. But yeah, if you got a chance to give that a try, like me, and we'll see.
One last thing
Yeah.
before you go, right? I just want to mention one more game that I downloaded. It's Breath of
Ah.
Fire 4.
Oh, I love that game.
Breath of Fire 4.
I love the game.
Until now, I still think that it is one of the best games in the PS1.
I agree.
And
I agree.
that
I love.
game,
You play as two main character,
Yeah.
the Ryu and the villain. So
yeah.
it's a nice take on that game. I love it. And then
Yeah.
the battle, the combat scenario is also pretty interesting because
The art
you
style
can
is-
switch players.
Yep.
Yeah, the art style is great as well.
The art
Yeah,
style is
you can
great. I
switch
find this
between
game
play
is-
like FF like that.
This game ages
Agree,
really well.
underrated.
Ages
Yeah,
really well.
underrated.
I just
I
don't know
agree.
why they didn't port it. Just port it to the Switch, please.
Yeah, they should. I think from Breath of the Wild series that I consider that as the best. Yeah, that's the best for Breath of Fire series. Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's it.
All right, cool. On my side, I didn't play a lot of games since last week. Wanted to finish off Bloodborne. I don't know, for some reason I'm getting the hang of it. I like that game. I'm really hopeful that Sony can do a remaster remake of it, kind of stuff. And then I was playing a bit of Final Fantasy 7 remake as well. So, but yeah, aside from that, nothing major. So yeah, I think that's it for our games that we are playing right now. Just a bit of recap of whatever's happening dengan dunia Nintendo sekarang ni. Okay, of course everyone is waiting for Switch. Bila Switch nak keluar, kita tak sabar-sabar nak tunggu kan. And then I've heard some rumors, very interesting rumors about a couple of games that were supposed to be I think in the nearest direct that we're gonna get, and just I think there's a list like they're gonna have a Mega Man game, they're gonna have a Donkey Kong game, and then a couple of games that were rumored to be announced lah. But I honestly think it's not gonna happen because Nintendo. We need to admit that Nintendo is getting ready for Switch 2, Pro Switch or whatever stuff and that. But just to flag as well, Donkey Kong Country has been dead for like 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. 7 years, I think. The last game was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and then it was ported to Switch. But the initial game was back from Wii U, and it's been a while since we got a Donkey Kong platform game, which has always been the high end of a platforming kind of game. I don't know, you pernah main tak Erita Tropical Freeze ke, Donkey Kong Country Returns ke?
No.
The difficulty level is, oh my god, top notch. But it was, I mean, those kind of game will make you, whenever you complete one of the stages, you will feel proud of yourself because you're able to. And I'm really looking forward if we can get that for the new Switch, the latest iteration for that lah.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, I think nothing much from Nintendo. They're still quiet. We did get a release trailer for the Princess Peach game recently. Apparently, she can become a ninja, kind of something like that. So, let's see how that goes.
Do you think that game?
But yeah,
do you think that game is like it's gonna be like appeal? I know it's gonna appeal to like the younger crowd and stuff lah. But do you think that
the
it's
younger female audience?
Do you think it's the game is gonna be like
I don't know
for the hardcore gamers? I'm really scared. You know, like people were really expecting like it to be like super
Mario or
creative,
something like that.
things like that. But then, what if the reality is that it's just a female version of Mario with just some cool little stuff, but it's actually not hard at all. You get what I'm trying to say, right?
I know. I agree.
I'm worried lah.
Let me assure you something. Like, I don't think that's gonna be a big hit for Nintendo, but I know why they're doing this, because they're trying to open up their market, and then they are trying to see possibilities. So that's why they start to deliver this game, because I think this might be like a Team B or Team C from Nintendo that produced this game. So they basically, Nintendo has always been nurturing their developer with a lot of projects kind of stuff, and then I think this is one of those projects where they are giving the opportunity for the new young devs to shine, and I think money. I don't think it will be gauged by the sales of it. I'm gonna be very doubtful, because but I think it's more like a Nintendo doing what they always love to do, is develop and bring up their new devs team in the front line, that kind of stuff. So I think that's me.
At least they still come out games, you know, big or small.
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to the other two that's been doing like hardly any games come out.
Yeah. Alright, exactly. The first party is like, of course, with Sony and Microsoft going through a lot of, I'm not sure, drama the last recent months. So hopefully, I think the best thing is that it will benefit. Hopefully, they will do something that benefit us as a gamers lah. Can keep the game. We don't care they're fighting this, and as long as they can give us a good game, we're gonna be happy and take my money, kind of stuff. So that's always gonna be the idea lah. All right. Okay. So we did basically a refresher of what's Nintendo gonna do, kind of stuff. So I think we can start off our session. So Seperti biasa, kita akan buat deep dive review of Twilight Princess. And just to be clear, this one, we're gonna do a review of the Wii or GameCube version because I think Harry, you didn't get the chance to play the HD version, right?
No.
You haven't, yeah. So you're still waiting for Switch to deliver that, which I don't know whether
Yeah.
that's gonna happen or not. But yeah, we're gonna take this as a the Wii and GameCube version, the one that we've gotten it back then when it first released on Nintendo, right? So yeah, pendengar-pendengar semua, penonton semua, kita akan mulakan deep dive review kita untuk sebuah game yang menjadi satu ikon satu ketika dulu untuk Nintendo. Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So before we start, just nak give a bit of a background info about this game lah. Twilight Princess ni is a game that got released on 2 console, just like whatever happened with Breath of the Wild lah. So dia got released simultaneously. Well, not actually. It got released first on
GameCube.
I think GameCube first. And then only then so no, actually it got released
GameCube,
on
right?
Wii first.
Is it?
No, it got released on Wii first. It got released on Wii first. Only then a couple of weeks later, GameCube got the game. So
Okay.
because mula-mula they was developing this game for GameCube definitely. Tapi of course GameCube was not doing well by the 4th or 5th year of the console because high. I mean, of course, masa tu GameCube is competing with PS2 lah. PS2 is like, I think the legendary Sony punya console kan. So, by the time the game almost, I think half part of the development cycle, they decided to launch a new console, which is the Wii, which was one of the biggest blockbuster for Nintendo, and this game was ported to Wii. But again, as I mentioned, walaupun dia sebenarnya ported, tapi sebenarnya for some reason this game came out first on Wii, baru keluar on GameCube. It's a very weird decision. But there are some variance between the two games lah. Macam a good example is that for the Wii version, you would have those nunchuck and Wiimote as your controller, which I think delivers in terms of the gimmicky thing. What do you call that? Motion control punya controller kan, something like that. Of course, this was improved way better in Skyward Sword, but at that point in time, it's a very gimmicky. Just, I mean, technically, you shake the remote, the Link's gonna slash the slot lah. Unlike GameCube version, still maintains the GameCube controller and some slight difference mentioned. Link is left-handed for the GameCube one, right-handed for the Wii version. So yeah, so there's been a lot of talk about Link being left right hand on that kind of context lah. But yeah, and then the game got released. I think one of the biggest I would say biggest punya how to say cultural impact for the game was that when the game released, the trailer kan, it was our legendary Miyamoto was the one who presented the game in one of the E3, and that causes everyone to become like a crazy maniac lah, because I think this is because there's only one reason why this is happening, because before we got Twilight Princess, we had Wind Waker. Wind Waker, really a divisive iteration of the game because it went with a shell-shaded, cartoony theme, and I think at that point in time, after playing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, a lot of fans were dumbfounded to know that this game is like a very cartoonish kind of art style. But to be honest, Wind Waker is, I would say, one of the. I mean, it went through that cycle where after a couple of years, people start to appreciate it more than when it got released lah kan. So it when they came out with this game, the trailer of Twilight Princess, everybody was so happy because everybody wanted to see like this dark version of Zelda kan. And kononnya this Zelda ni lah yang the dark version of it like a bit. And technically the game memang pun deliver those dark theme lah kan. Which we're gonna discuss a bit later in our deep dive. But yeah, that's just the basic info about this. I think this game was directed by Onuma, and then produced by Miyamoto, and then we have Yusuke Nakano as the artist, which is something that I wanted to point as well during when we do the art style kind of stuff. And just to share a bit as well, this game got a remaster version on Wii U, and there's an Nvidia Shield TV that include this game as well. You pernah dengar tak Nvidia Shield TV, Harry?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those
China
PC
market
tablet
console.
that kind of
Yes,
thing, right?
exactly.
Which is a weird thing.
So
there are some
very
video
weird.
games that go in there as well.
Yeah,
So,
yes, exactly. So interestingly, this game got released on that console as well. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that console is a limited edition console. You don't get a lot of those. I think it's very limited edition, and I think it's only for China market kind of stuff. But yeah, okay. So basically, this is Twilight Princess. It really surprise. Well, not surprise lah. It really so-called macam kembalikan kepercayaan Zelda fan. Because they went back to the realistic art style lah. So yep. So without any further delay, let's start on the first segment of this review. We want to talk about the world of Twilight Princess. So I'll pass this to you first, Harry. So just give me a bit of your view on what do you think Twilight Princess world is. Yeah.
I think okay, we have games like Link to the Past. We have games like A Link Between Worlds that contains so-called the Dark World as well, the Low Ruler, right? But those are usually quite self-contained. They usually don't spill too much towards the Hyrule that we know. But then this game, right? It actually does have the Twilight Realm, the influence of the Twilight Realm actually gets spilled over to the real world. You can actually see they overtwine, and a lot of time I would say like maybe more than half of the time that the Twilight, you are playing in the Twilight Realm. You know, like everything is so correct, so depressing. I kind of like it because okay, I'll be honest, the Twilight Princess is my first 3D Zelda.
Okay, all right.
First 3D because before that, right, I hardly game much. I'm not really dedicated to a console. Is when I got a Wii, and I saw actually I didn't know that Zelda actually there's still more Zelda games that come out. There was this Twilight Princess. Then you don't realize that Twilight Princess become more Zelda become more mature looking, more realistic looking, and it gets really dark as well. Like just a few. The art style complements the dark tone also because everyone looks very human like. And then once the shadow once the shadow beasts like start coming out, first intro, and then you realize that and everything turns like so moody and stuff like that, right? I'm like, so this game is kind of look very and it gives me the introduction of what this game is like, and I'm okay with it. I'm kind of okay with it because I actually enjoy Link to the Past. I mean, there are some sad, like gloomy part of it lah, but at the end of the day, it still feel kind of like neutral to bright, that kind of feel.
Fantasy, yeah.
Twilight Princess is just depressing,
When you got this game, right, Harry? Are you aware of Wind Waker?
During that time, no, because like I said, I didn't get into Nintendo. By that time, it's after that only I realized. I found out. There's a Wind Waker.
Okay, I think good point that you are referring in terms of the tone of the game kind of stuff. But as I mentioned, if there's any sebab pun kan yang kenapa you see this quality of tone for the game is because of Wind Waker punya reaction. I mean, people were, as I mentioned, people were really disappointed with how Wind Waker were presented. But to be honest, Wind Waker is a really really good game. It's just that it was been overshadowed by the way that they present the game lah. So then that's when you see Twilight Princess shines from the fan base kind of perspective. But yeah, you're right. I think in terms of the world, right, I feel that this Hyrule is pretty big. It's huge. They try to do the open world where I think unlike Ocarina of Time, I think this game world actually copies a lot of Ocarina. Just that to some extent we can say that this is like a reimagined.
I just call it as Ocarina of Time Hyrule on steroids. It's like it's just big. It's just big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the issue comes again because they copy so much from Ocarina of Time, make it bigger. The issue is that they make it bigger. They didn't make it full of things. Right.
Okay, all right. That is very okay. I was surprised to know that you had the same feeling as I did because I played Ocarina of Time before I played Twilight Princess, and I do feel that memang game ni macam just the steroid version of Ocarina of Time. You can see the way that they disperse the world around, kan, the segment of the world, and then of course the Hyrule feel kind of stuff. And one of the main complaints about this game is that it feels barren. The world feels barren.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it does.
But I would disagree with that because I think the world is. I mean, people are comparing it to Ocarina of Time, kan? But I mean, if you go deep, detail by detail, right? It's actually there's a lot more content in Twilight Princess compared to Ocarina of Time. I mean, just for the sake of the world kind of understanding as well. Unlike Ocarina of Time, this Zelda, you need to collect 5 heart piece to get one. 5 fragment of heart piece to get one. What you call it? Heart piece lah kan? So
heart container
dia pecah to 5. Unlike Ocarina of Time, you don't need to do 4. So that alone give that space for it to plug in all the heart containers around the globe, around Hyrule, and then let's be honest, the map is full with enemies compared to Ocarina of Time. Again, I'm just comparing this directly to Ocarina of Time here because that is the main concern. Because and then as you mentioned lah, it's a steroid version of Ocarina of Time kan. So I think that is a unfair comment for Twilight Princess saying that it's a barren world because it's not. It's just that the theme of this world made it feel that it is barren because why? Which is we're supposed to talk under the art side, but I'll just put that a bit here because they go with the brown version of it. I mean, when you go with the brown version, yeah, you do feel that barrenness of it, right? So I that's my thought lah. But I think the world itself, I thought it was pretty nice. I mean, you got Hyrule, Hylia Lake, and then of course you got the sky stuff, and then the Kakariko village. Connectivity against what you call Death Mountain. So I feel that again it's not fair to compare this to a game that was like 15 years before Ocarina of Time, but it does improve a lot of those weaknesses that not say weaknesses lah, but a lot of those things that you saw on Ocarina of Time. So I would say that the world for Twilight Princess is and I'm going to be honest about it. I think if you're talking about at the world level, I think this Twilight Princess is one of the best world for a Zelda game and for a game at that point of time lah. So I thought it's for me lah. What do you think?
I don't disagree with that. But the reason why I'm having that, I give a little bit of context of why I feel the world feels for me very barren, very empty. It's because during that same time, right, I also got another game that that is pretty much Zelda like, which is Okami.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
Okami is. Wait, Okami. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, about the same time. Correct.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
or at least
Mm.
when I got my Wii, I bought together lah. So
Yeah, you're right.
because
You're
of
right.
that, right? Because of
not
that, there's
up.
comparison. The world, right? It's more interactive. In Okami, there's different variety. I mean, although you can argue that like Twilight Princess has a little bit more variety when it comes to the world. There's like the sky, there's the sky stuff like that lah. But Okami also got quite a lot of different variety of a world environment and stuff, and there's a lot more things to do. There's actually a lot more things to do when it comes to that game. Because of that,
Yep, you're
that's
right.
why I'm able to do a comparison. But of course,
And then sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
just I think I'll talk about that one particular criticism I have in the art style lah. But
Okay, all right.
yeah, but because of comparison.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I think it proves my point. I think the brownish world is what makes it feel barren. Unlike Okami, it's very colorful, it's very cheerful, right? So you feel, despite it, I think it should be between the same level of content, both. But just because Twilight Princess is a bit brownish, you feel that it's a bit empty, something like that, right? Because if you think about it, in Twilight Princess, when you become Wolfling, and you even can dig your the ground and then found a cave or something like that. That's very interesting content for a game that that caliber lah kan. So again, I think that for me, I'm just gonna blame it on the brownish take on the game lah.
I definitely agree on the tone and the color. Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely fitting of the world, the game, because I mean, if you wanna go for a darker kind of tone, that's one of the best way to deliver lah kan, brownish kan. I mean, you see Skyrim kan, they went through the same kind of theme, right? So you can feel that there's a bit of uh uh pressure, there's a bit of gloomy kind of vibe to it like, and so something like that lah. But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. So maybe we can give some points out of 5
Okay.
for the world. Yeah.
Oh,
5 being the best, 1.
Okay. Because I look at this way lah, right? The world for me in Twilight Princess, right, is that field. It's that field because, like, example, things like those sky and stuff, right? There's sort of this kind of sort of a dungeon itself. So I reserve my judgment at the dungeon section. But for the world, right,
Sure.
that big Hyrule map, right, I think I'll give it a 3 lah.
Okay, 3 from you. I would give the world a 5 for me lah, because I think one of the strength for this game, despite the common view for it that is barren, I think this, if there's anything that's pretty solid for Twilight Princess, is the world. I can feel that the world is really good for a Zelda game. So I'm giving it a 5 lah for me, from my perspective. All right. Okay, now let's talk about the art style. Okay, this one is again sangat berkait lah dengan world tu. Tapi I think there's a lot of point that that we can delve in lah untuk bagian ni kan. Maybe you can start on the art.
Okay.
Style for this game.
Okay, so we're going to this, right? I think there's one thing we didn't mention, which is why the main reason why, or is it one of the reason why Wind Waker is so divisive? That's because when they reviewed the GameCube, right? That's before they announced Wind Waker, right? They actually did a tech demo of and Zelda.
I know.
One of the right? And then it kind of shows that a more darker, realistic. Not say darker, let's go with a bit more realistic tone. That
exactly.
Of Link, and that gave people. I think that was a mistake on their end. Basically, they give an expectation of what Link can be already. Yep.
Correct.
So once they done that, and then suddenly they show a more
total opposite of it, right?
Small little chibi version of Link, right? And then that's the reason why people get disappointed, and then finally it comes back to to Twilight Princess, more realistic. Of course, people will be happy, right? Right after the what's it called, the backlash, and then suddenly you give people something that they want, of course they'll be happy. So that I'm just want to get that out of the way first. In terms of art style, right? Realistic looking, but if you ask me, right, I like what I see during the time when I play it. But if you want to compare to whether does it age well, right, compared to other Zelda games, right? I mean, all I can say is that it definitely at least aged better than the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask Link lah. You know, it's in between lah.
Okay.
Definitely didn't age as
All right.
well,
All right.
but obviously better than OOT
I
and
okay. All right.
MM.
Understand. Okay. I'm gonna disagree with you on that because I think that Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask still I feel it's still pretty well aside from some minor tweaks from the gameplay kind of perspective. They still apply those art style was really I mean for me even until now I rasa Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask ni dia punya art style still live with me lah. Which, in that kind of context, I nak bagi tahu, I think if there's anything really bad about Twilight Princess, it is the art style. Because the art style, as you mentioned, I agree with you, it's aged really bad. I mean, if you see it right now, you feel what were they thinking when they did that? And I think one of the benda yang penting I rasa maybe a lot of people didn't realize is that did you guys realize that the Hylian punya face features weird, man.
Yeah, their human features
it's
a bit kind of weird, except Link.
It's very weird, except Link and Zelda, and that does not make sense because Zelda. I mean, I thought that was why they were doing, and then if you see Goron punya apa ni feature kan, Goron is okay, but because they try to make it a bit cartoonish, but at the same time ada that realistic feature. But then Hylian was like, wait, what the? And was the sky thing? I forgot what's the name.
The Cocos,
Coco. That was
like
really.
yeah, that
Oh my
one
God.
was creepy. That one was creepy. There's a lot of
Creepy and
there's a lot of like creepy stuff in this game.
yeah. Then the design of it. Again, we're talking about the art style. I don't know why they did that, man. It feels like it's like you're talking about a baby ghost kind of stuff, and I don't know why they did that. It's just it feels really creepy.
But then I feel like whatever we say, right, it just kind of sort of fits the game, the tone of the game. It's weird. The people are weird. The monsters are weird. I'm actually okay with it though.
I got a bit of disagreement on that because I feel that it there is a mismatch between a certain race against the other race. I mean, if you see like Goron against the ice guy, what do you call that? I forgot the husband
Yeti,
and wife guy.
The Yeti, is it?
Yeti, whatever. Yeah.
Basically, it's a couple.
Yeah, they can match. But then if you see Zora, they feel a bit light, and then Hylian is definitely, I don't know, it's definitely out of the it feels like Hylian does not fit in that ecosystem. Well, that's at least for me lah. And then of course this I think got amplified with the brownish tone as well. Again, as mentioned, so you would see that it. I don't know. Again, I do understand they nak make it a bit darker, but that brown punya theme is I maybe I've seen too many those kind of brown theme, and then not to say that I'm a fan of Wind Waker because I had problem with Wind Waker as well, but I think Twilight Princess, that brown thing with the Hylian face is like weird, and then it's some of the design does not match against one race to the other race kind of stuff. I feel if there's anything that's really weak for Twilight Princess is the art style. I mean, yeah, that's what I feel. And just a bit of comparison against Skyward Sword. I thought Skyward Sword the paint kind of too was one of my favorite lah kan. So it is basically it's in the middle between Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, and they managed to blend it pretty well. But yeah, I thought the art style is something that I did a quick uh, uh, YouTube kind of check, and then I saw, wow, the arts. I mean, it is really bad. I mean, it aged really bad. Like, I can feel that. Oh, the way that they did the tree stuff, and then they did the house move, it feels very off lah, for me at least lah. Yeah, that's my feeling on the art style lah.
In that case, I'm curious to know what's your point for the art style.
Okay, all right. All right. Let's go to the point. So for me, I would say, if the art style, I would give this a 2 out of 5 lah. For me, it's uh
Okay.
that's why when I tried playing, even okay, this also applies for the HD version though. I don't know. Whenever I pick up that game, it's very difficult for me to enjoy the art style lah. I mean, the Link is okay lah. I mean, but Zelda itself pun macam pelik sikit, and then of course lah, the Hylian lah. I mean, you see those kids kan dalam Hylian kan. Oh, macam what why they did this, man? And then Berkoblin pun macam macam I know they want to make it like garang kan, tapi I don't know, this doesn't fit my taste lah. So
they try their best to make it a bit more realistic, stylized. Realistic, is that the right word? I think some of them sticks, some of them doesn't lah. So
yeah,
give it a 2, right? Then I'll give it a more average score. I'd say it's an average lah. So I'll give it a 3.
okay. Okay,
so that
cool.
sounds about right. I think it's the weakest part of the game.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, we're done with the world art style. So now let's talk about
Story.
the gameplay itself. You want to go with the story first?
Either way, let's go with you.
Let's go with the story first.
Okay.
I think usually I'll put story very at the end of the name, but I think because that's my personal view, story is not that important. But then again, yeah, we can do this. Okay, let's do story. Okay, the story is very interesting. Let me start this off first. So it started off with Ling as one of the what you call Ordon village people, right?
Yeah.
Kind of Ordon village people. He's like a shepherd, right?
Yep. He just helped. He helps with the what's it called?
The goat.
The goat.
Yeah.
Basically a farm. Is it a farm?
Yeah. So they do a very very small town. Is not really interested in whatever that's happening with Hyrule. So and then we spend a lot of time in the Ordon village, and then something happened at Hyrule where it was being hijacked by Zen, one of the main villain for the game, and Zen hijacked the castle. So called that Zen is from a Twilight world, right? So and then somehow Link got involved in that story plot.
They attacked the castle first. They attacked the castle first.
They attacked the castle.
The people there inside all become like souls, stuff like that lah. Then it spreads, it just spreads around, and then Ordon got hit as well. The
and then Link got cursed.
Yep, Link got it first.
Yeah, Link got cursed to a wolf, which is an amazing curse if you ask me about. So, well, technically, because the curse will be reflecting of whatever that individual is representing, like, and then Link being one of the main character, is a wolf, and then I think, and technically that's the gimmick as well. So the wolf is one of the gimmick of the game, aside from the Wiimote kind of stuff. But I think mainly the wolf is the gimmick. I mean, you can see gimmick from Ocarina of Time where the gimmick was the Ocarina.
Oh yeah, okay,
right?
Okay. I was wondering what is the gimmick. I was wondering what's the gimmick. Okay, it's the flute. It's the flute.
And then for Majora's Mask, Majora's Mask is the time cycle kan, and then for Wind Waker pula the boat
sea
thing kan, open sea. So those gimmicks. So in this case, Link being wolf is one of the gimmick lah. And then interestingly, Link met up with this little monster kind of thing.
Oh, how can you
which
call
is
how do you call how could you call her a monster? She is one of the best
well.
characters in the whole
Agree.
series.
I agree. I agree with you. I think Minna is one of the best at a lot of levels. For example, the character itself, the character development, even the soundtrack. Minna soundtrack is one of the best lah. So
Mhm.
yeah, this character Minna, apparently she is the princess for the Twilight, who got hijacked by Zan, and then she wanted to find a way to return back the curse, and then she used Link, and they use each other and vice versa. Then the story plot goes through that kind of cycle, and then Link has to uh, get the try to solve a lot of dungeons to proceed with the storyline, and then uh, at some point of time, Minna got injured, and then Link had to save her. And you see that this Zan guy is actually being controlled by our favorite master villain, which is Ganon. Which was, I think Ganon was pretty interesting. The plot, I think, usual stuff that you see dalam Zelda main game. I think where there's a lot of reiteration of the story, and in this case, Ganon is somehow uh, the history part of Ganon, that he was being what do you call, kena captured by the sage kan, to be
He
cursed into the
he is being trapped. Is it called
trap
trapped?
curse. Yeah,
Basically contained,
imprisoned
and
lah.
imprisoned
Yeah,
by the sages
yeah,
lah.
something like that.
Oh, talk about
That
that. We talk about the
Twilight.
art style, right? Those sages looks ugly.
Oh yeah,
Speaking
yeah.
of the art style, the sages just looks damn ugly. They like nothing one.
Yeah,
It's like an afterthought. Okay,
correct. I
whatever.
don't know what they are. Like, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
I
Speaking of
mean, yeah.
sages.
So, yeah, that's the story, and then there's a bit of plot twist in the end. So again, Midna assisting Link, and we got to know that Zan was being controlled by Ganon all this while, and yeah, then eventually Link had to work with Zelda, which came out of nowhere as well for some reason. I mean,
Yep. Let's talk about Zelda. Actually, the whole game is
okay,
called
okay,
Legend of
go ahead.
Zelda.
Mm,
Okay, like I said, this game I played this game before that. I did quite a while. Didn't play Zelda games already. I didn't know that Zelda is like plays so little role. You kind of like only see her maybe in the mid of the game once. She was the shadow cloaked person in the in
correct.
the tower. You met her once, and after that, oh wait, you met her again when Midna is injured. Yep.
Mm,
And then after that, it's pretty much towards the end
the
already.
final battle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, her role is very. She's. I think she's the most. What's it called? The Zelda that didn't give too much of an impression.
Under
Underutilized.
underutilized.
Because you got Midna
Yes,
already. You
correct.
have Midna already, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
kind of
Which
like
is
it's kind of weird lah.
agree,
So
agree.
yeah, that's just my impression. This Zelda I don't really like. Not really a fan of this
Yeah,
Zelda.
yeah. I think in general the story itself is very basic. Again, it's nothing out of ordinary. I mean, you you explore the world, and then you progress the story throughout the dungeons kind of stuff to get the item, and then there's a part of the game where you would be you akan dihantar ke Twilight World, and then
Oh yeah.
Link has to collect what they call the Twilight uh the tears something. I forgot what's it called
Yeah,
lah,
I think
the
it's tears.
box thing
They're
kan.
called tears. They're called tears. Yeah.
Tears of Twilight ke apa tak ingat kan. So I mean, and then Link needs to do that to break the curse kan, the curse of his wolf, so that he can transform back. I mean, from a story perspective, I think it's good. It's okay lah. Of course, there are some characters underutilized, which is in this case is Zelda, but it's nothing out of ordinary lah. I mean, and I compare this to stories like of course one of my best is Majora's Mask. That's memang tak boleh dikacau lah kan. But even Ocarina of Time, I would feel that there's a little bit more excitement to it. But you can feel the epicness of the story lah dalam Twilight Princess. I don't know you, Harry, but I think I can feel that there's a part of the story, a couple of section of the story feel very epic lah kan. I mean, of course one of the yang you battle with the apa yang the Bokoblin punya leader tu kan.
Oh yeah,
He
on the
kidnapped
bridge.
the Buddha
That was
on the
awesome.
bridge. You can feel the epicness of it lah. I mean, the way that they try to deliver the story kan. I mean, I would say that compared to Ocarina of Time, again, we're doing this comparison with Ocarina of Time because as our understanding that this is a steroid version of Ocarina of Time, so that's why Ocarina of Time banyak disebut. So from a story perspective, I think it, if not on par, but maybe as good as Ocarina of Time. Maybe slightly better than Ocarina of Time because the feeling of epicness ada lah kan. So, and then of course the battle with the bosses is, I would say one of the best. And then the way that Ganon as a character kan dalam story ni pun agak menarik lah kan. So Ganon he wanted to revenge and then he take control of Zan, then using Zan to find a way to get himself out of the curse, out of the prison. So yeah, I feel that the story is for me, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, that's my take on the story. What about you, Harry? What do you think?
The story definitely. I think I will go with 5 as well. Mainly because right, this story is unique in a way, right, where the final blow for the boss, right, is actually done by the villain himself, isn't it?
Yeah,
You realize,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Actually, it's very scary looking also. You know that Zan suddenly just and then he's just
snap.
that was good. That was good.
Correct. Yeah, when you talk about it, right, I think one of the most I think emotional scene for me lah dalam this game is when Mina tu sakit kan. Mina then Link need to save her. They try to do that part of the story agak interesting lah. I mean, you need to go to Hyrule and then everyone was like scared of you kan because you're a wolf carrying Mina kan. I mean, it was nice lah kan, knowing that there's a part of that from on the storyline. And then of course some of the side character story is pretty interesting as well. I think the Yeti punya side story too pretty nice. Nak save the wife kan, and then the wife become the villain of the dungeon.
Oh yeah,
and then,
that was the scariest thing ever in the
yeah,
Zelda
it
game.
was. Correct. Yeah, it was.
I
Yeah.
said I came back to Zelda. This is my first 3D Zelda. That was like that was the bar. That was the bar.
Exactly.
It doesn't
So
go up anymore. Okay. Sorry.
Agree. I would say that.
I give it a 4. I think it's the same as you. Yep, 4. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Good.
All right. Tarik balik. Okay, nice. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're done with the 3 type of category where basically this is the background of the game. Like I mean, we're talking about the world, art style, and story. So now let's talk about the core part of the game. I would say, which is the gameplay, right? So let's talk about the gameplay for this game, lah. So, I want to pass the ball to you first. Okay, maybe what's your experience with this game? You played it on
I played
Wii,
on the
kan?
Wii. I played on the Wii. And I do disagree with you. I think that the Wii controls are actually pretty okay. Like I said, this is
Did
my
I
first.
say it was not?
This, you know,
Did I say?
you said
I
it was
thought-
gimmicky. You said it was gimmicky.
Okay,
For me,
gimmicky,
I
alright.
think it's pretty awesome lah. I mean, gimmicky. I would say it's
Okay.
gimmicky. Gimmicky sometimes it's associated with
let me rephrase that. I thought it was gimmicky, but I thought it was amazing.
Okay.
I like it. I think
Okay.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So right. Go
It's
ahead.
interesting lah, like, because you're using your right hand, it's holding the nunchuck, holding the control, and then the left
Wiimote.
hand using the Wiimote. The nunchuck. Left is nunchuck, right is Wiimote.
Yep.
And then if I remember correctly, you use your nunchuck. You like push it front to block the projectiles. Right.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
The pretty cool thing lah, because previously I never played motion control games before, so the fact that you swing left, then you swing right, up, down, is kind of there as well. You know, although it's not as accurate as the Wii Motion Plus or Skyward Sword, but you can see it's actually pretty much there already, man. So I enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I have, but then I realized that some of the I a lot of times when I'm really panicked, right? What I do is I usually just swing. Where just hentam saja, and then there's like, because you get to learn some new skills on, right? In like sort of like combo skills from the so-called the the forgotten hero, you know.
Yes. I want to talk about that later. Right. That's amazing.
There are certain combos I'm like, forget it, like, I just swing I still swing my remote, you know. But it doesn't. I mean,
No,
it's interesting that they have the combo. I kind of wish that they would come back again for the combo. Maybe just simplify it more, lah. But I enjoy what I have. The gameplay is it's basic, but it gets the job done. I like it. I like it.
I agree. I think the gameplay is, again, it's Ocarina of Time on steroid lah for this one, because Ocarina of Time, I think it started in Ocarina of Time where you have that what do you call, diagonal control for the sword and the shield kan, and I mean you block and then wait with him, so something like that. So they enhance it a bit more with the skill mode for this one, and then it's more I don't know, macam bebas sikit lah compared to Ocarina of Time, where it's very
usually left right, something like that only, right?
Yes, and then the diagonal punya wave too is very how to say, very pattern like lah kan, but for this one there's a bit of space into that kan. So Twilight Princess again steroid, Ocarina of Time steroid, and then a part where I love was Link being a wolf, which I thought was a bit underutilized. I mean, unlike Link as a Link form, you get to learn a lot of those special moves kan. But for Link wolf mode, you don't have a lot of. I think it was very basic since starting from the beginning until the end. Like
the wolf is what are the moves? You have the midnight one, the area attack. You just cover everywhere.
Yes,
but that's usually for the shadow beast, right?
Shadow.
But that one was kind of fun though, because you kind of have to strategize, especially like you there are some certain areas where they do like a puzzle, right? You have to make sure that you have no how would I say, the shadow beast, there's only one left. So I find it pretty interesting, but that skill is underutilized quite a bit. What else? Other than that, the wolf.
If you went to the
the wolfling will jump into a particular monster and just keep biting. Other than that, it's pretty much it. Else you just leap and keep fighting.
Yeah, which is what I was saying lah. I mean, unlike the Link yang normal Link, you belajar banyak moveset kan, you belajar this special skill, but the wolf tak ada banyak advancement lah. Of course, kalau you play the Ordeal Cave kan, one of the secret dungeon for Twilight Princess, right? The wolf well actually for both the first the version also got so you do need to utilize a lot of the skill moves from the wolf to battle. But I think that was a bit underutilized. If they can just add that a bit more in terms of the wolf learn some new moves or something like that'd be fun. But aside from that, the gameplay part with arrow, with the equipments, which is going to discuss in a bit, right? I think it was pretty solid. I like, again, how they drive it to the world mechanics, right? So it's a big world, Link boleh naik kuda kan, and then the way that Link move kan looks really solid. And then the if you notice kan, for the Wii version, there's like this sound bites that only happens when you hit the enemy on a combo kind of thing. Something like that. So they try to do that to make it I think if you play Hi-Fi Rush, you can see that similarities were there in Twilight Princess back then lah.
Sorry, just one more thing. Just one more thing. Let's not forget on certain occasion, there's one particular move where you. I remember already. There was one move during Thought where you sort of can kill the enemy in one shot. You have to wait for it to move, and then once it's done, right, he'll do like pretty cool.
Simpan the sword kan.
Okay, why don't they bring that back? They need to bring that back, man. They need to bring that back.
I think Smash, one of the Smash brothers did maintain that.
Is it?
Yeah, the taunt kind of thing.
Right. They need to do that lah. That was
you're right.
awesome. I like to wait for the enemy to make a move and then
correct.
Like, it's cool.
Alright, I think the gameplay I would give it pretty good marks as well. For me, I'm gonna give it. I think I prefer the gameplay, so I'm gonna give it a 5 for me lah, because I enjoy the gameplay, both from the GameCube version and the Wii, and then specifically for Wii, I like the Wiimote gimmick. It was out of ordinary, and then it delivers what it needs to do, and I love it, right? So I'm gonna give 5 for the gameplay lah.
I'll give it a 4 just because maybe Wolflink did not really utilize much.
Yeah,
Okay.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. So next we're gonna talk about this is one of the main uh points for a Zelda game. Let's talk about the dungeons and the bosses. I purposely
Okay.
make it yeah.
Yeah.
So just to give you a bit of perspective, this Zelda, for a 3D Zelda game, this Zelda has the most dungeon. So
Mm-hmm.
we are being presented 9 dungeons for this. Well, 9 main, not to say dungeons, 9 main area that reflect as a dungeon lah. So and that is big. I mean, going to Twilight Princess, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Usually you're gonna get like 4, 5, and for Wind Waker, so you only got 4. So but this game you got 9 main big dungeons for the game, and that is just wow. I thought just alone is a very big credit to this game lah. For a game
Mm-hmm.
that I think focus a lot on puzzle solving. This one is one of the best. I think just to give it, we have this forest temple, we have this Goron mine, we have this lake bed temple, arbiter ground. Arbiter ground is very unique dungeon. And then of course I think this might be your favorite, Snow Peak Ruins, right? So where
Mm-hmm.
you have like a big mansion, they change it into like a dungeon style kind of thing. You solve the puzzle kind of stuff, and then you have a temple of time. Then you have a city in the sky, which is very very interesting. The way that they can think about this. So and then we have Palace of Twilight, and finally we have Hyrule Castle. So yeah, what do you think about the dungeon and the bosses? Let's leave the bosses behind first. We talk about the dungeons first lah. What do you think?
Okay, let's start with the one that we like first, lah, right?
Okay.
I think just now you mentioned already, I like Snow Peak Ruins. It's the one with the
Mm.
Yeti one.
Okay.
It's like a big mansion but turned into ice, right? And then they have
Yep.
very very unique of navigating around. I like that. What else? Another one that I like is which one is it? City in the Sky.
Sky.
Mainly
Wow,
because although
nice.
it touched a bit of item, but it introduced one of the best items I feel in the
Double hook
Zelda series.
shot.
Double hook shot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Wow.
plus with the Z targeting, right? It's like so awesome.
Correct.
And
Correct. I know.
yeah, I love
Again,
it
the
so much.
Ocarina of Time on steroid. This is just the very best example of this. Is an Ocarina of Time with steroids, because you get only one hook shot in Ocarina of Time, and now they say why not give you 2 hook shot,
Mm-hmm.
and it really applies well to the gameplay, the dungeon puzzles kind of stuff. Right? You need to levitate, and then you need to manage your horizontal and vertical kind of. Right? It's nice. Yeah, I
Yep.
agree.
And maybe just add on one more, maybe Arbiter's Ground, where you actually get the again, it's related to the
Spinner.
item, the spinner. Because there are a lot
Yeah.
of way you can use the spinner, and it sort of touch on the boss as well. But that's the
Yep.
three:
Exactly.
Snow Peak Ruins, City in the Sky, and Arbiter's Grounds. That's what I like. I
Okay.
do not
Okay.
really. Okay, maybe you share what's your favorite first. Then only we go for what we
Okay.
don't like.
I personally love Lake Bed Temple. I think this is my favorite because the way it's a water dungeon, but then you need to manage the well, of course, the water temple in Ocarina of Time is a big phobia to everyone. I think even until this day, everyone tak suka that temple kan, because the so-called so complicated and confusing dungeon punya progress. But Lake Bed Temple was was nice. I mean, you need to. There's a lot of key thing feature that requires you to set up how the water flow and then you open up dungeon. I thought Lake Bed Temple is my favorite for this game. I think Goron Mines, I love them as well, but mostly because of the the tools that you were given. I think the what do you call what do you call, not giant boot, the metal boot, was it? Forgot what's the
Iron
name lah.
Boots, is it called Iron Boots?
Iron boots, yeah, iron boots, and then yeah. So and then I think Snow Peak Rain is for me as well. So I think this three is one of my favorite. I think yeah, I qualify this as one of the best game with dungeons lah. So yep.
Okay, then I move on to what I do not like. I think there was only one.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
maybe two. Like, if you want to be mainly picky.
Uh.
Sorry to say, Link Bed Temple I don't really like
What?
because
I love it.
some of it gets confusing lah. Some of the
Confusing.
I do get lost. I think maybe once or
Okay.
twice. Yep, that one. And maybe if I want to be super nitpicky is Temple of Time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Because
Temple of Time. Yeah.
because it has one of the
Just
most useless items.
Oh yeah, the dominant road, is it?
Yeah, although they do kind of redeem it themselves in
The
Hyrule Warriors. It's kind of
Oh,
cool
okay,
using in
okay.
Hyrule Warriors because you saw that can pick a
Control.
few guardians to hit at one.
Mm.
So the one I really don't like is set is Lake Bed Temple, but and I also include Temple of Time that I don't really
Okay,
like because
cool.
you kind of like need to go through a few levels and stuff, right? It's kind of intertwined.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
Yep,
true.
yep.
What about
I,
yours?
I think for me, I love the dungeons for this game. I think none of them are really bad for me. Maybe if I just want to put least favorite, I could say maybe Temple of Time is my least favorite as well. But in general, I love the dungeon for this game. This game is an uh, uh, delivers very uh, I'd say full scale dungeon.
Oh yeah, it does. That's just a big.
Yeah, so yeah, I like that. So yeah, that's for me. Yeah. Okay. On top of that, let's talk about the dungeon bosses. What do you feel? What do you think about the bosses kind of stuff? Are they uh, uh can keep up with the level of uh how the dungeon is really well made kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's pretty close to what I mentioned according to the dungeon. Also, the one in the Snow Peak Ruin. That's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool. It's scary. The
Yeah.
transition towards the where
Correct.
the is it the wife? I call it the wife lah.
Yeah, the wife.
Suddenly
I call it
she
the wife.
actually twists her neck. Look at you,
Correct. Become
and
crazy
then suddenly
monster.
become like a vampire that kind of
Yes.
with
Wait.
fangs and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Mm.
The boss itself, okay lah. Because you got your what's it called? The iron.
Equipment.
What's that
The
thing
tools.
called? Let me see.
Ball and chain.
Ball and
Ball
chain.
and chain, right?
Ball and chain. Ball and chain is actually I quite like the item, but then this boss can get a bit annoying when it comes to using the ball and chain. You have to master it in order to not get hit lah. What I actually like the boss the most, right, is actually the Arbiter's ground, the Stellord.
Oh, wait.
I
The
like
Stellar.
it
Okay, the dragon.
because it really utilized the
Yeah.
spin. At first is there's
Mm.
two phases. One is
Mm.
you're in a sandpit. You have to try
Correct.
your best to hit the center of the bone, right?
Yep.
Hit a few rounds so that you go down. That's one. So that you break the bone, you break the body. Then once you get
Correct.
into
Then the
just
head.
have the head left, then it becomes like a sort of like a
Five
chase
walls.
the chasing scene where
Yeah, it
you
was
twist
nice.
around.
Correct.
That was cool though. I like that one. I
Really
enjoyed that
agree.
quite a lot. What I okay, you share what you like the most was.
Okay. I think bosses in the game are pretty amazing. It defines the word boss lah. This game really defines it very well. When you see those big bosses, right? Then you are small there, and then it. I mean, you have the again. This is what I've said before. This game feels very epic, and well, the boss battle is one of the reason why it feels very epic. I mean, as you mentioned, we have the stellar kind of stuff. My personal favorite is, of course, Fyrus because feel like a um you're like a Gandalf while fighting this
Oh
beast,
yeah,
right?
it
Because it's a
does. Yep, it
and,
does. I get
then
it.
yeah, and then of course then we have Argorok as well, where you are flying, you're battling at the sky with this boss, right? And it feels really oh wow, like epic then. And then I love Ganon lah. Ganon is one of my favorite boss, and this game delivers that as well. So especially the characteristic of Ganon in this game, because if you recall, I'm gonna be spoiling a bit. So if you defeat him, Ganon is basically how do you say, he, even though he lost, he still stands. I don't know how, what word can you explain that? Bayangkan, I mean, you're talking about a guy kalah, tapi punyalah ego dia tinggi, dia kalah dalam keadaan dia berdiri, dia mati dalam keadaan dia berdiri. I mean, that's just, oh my god, kan. I mean, you can't get anything better than that lah. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to count in, I didn't count in Ganondorf. I see like the last main bosses, but I would count in the last phase of the standoff between Link and Ganondorf as one of the best as well, because it's really a really standoff, really standoff.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
So I heard a certain game that's latest one also have that. So I like that. But I don't like the one in what's it called? Skyward Sword, is it? Yeah.
Demise, is it?
Demise, yeah. I don't like the one with Demise. It's too reliant on. I mean, just out topic already, but I feel like that's a bit too reliant on the motion control. It gets a bit annoying sometimes. But Ganondorf one is Twilight Princess is pretty fun. I like it. It's nice. Okay, let's talk about least favorite. Okay, I'm gonna make you mad. I don't like Aragorok.
Okay, alright.
Because it feels very formulaic. It feels very
kind
of formulaic. Just like go down and then use the double hook shot and then just keep going around. Then get to the tail and then use the iron boost to pull down. It feels very, I don't know. It feels very formulaic. Like, I'm not really a fan of that. And
yeah, you're right. I love it because you have to utilize that hook shot, and for me, hook shot is that it feels like very epic.
I have to agree that because hook shot is my favorite as well. Kind of, I want to give it more.
It is.
But because it's so
Come on,
formulaic,
new Zelda, please give us back hook shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you put hook shot? That would be cool. Another one. Unfortunately, another one. Dark Beast Ganon. Again, another very formulaic one. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
I don't like it because you sort of like have to wait. He come over so you can move Link to grab him, to stop him, and then push you aside, stuff like that. Then hit him. It's very formulaic. I don't really like it. So you can see the pattern, right? It's like too formulaic. Don't like it. The rest are pretty okay.
Okay, yeah. For me, I think in general I like most of the bosses. But there are some bosses that feels very similar to previous bosses, and I would say bosses like Twilight Arcanite, right? Agoma and Temple of Time feels very similar
it does. Now you speak about it. It does.
Yeah, and then I think Twilight Parasite as well. If you recall playing Majora's Mask, right? Of course, it's not a main boss; it's a middle, mid boss kind of thing. It really featured that kind of similar to Twilight Parasite. Dia Baba, this boss. So, but again, I would agree with you that there are some formulaic kind of template kind of bosses here, but it's still, and maybe at that point of time, it feels very epic. So I think the word epic itself defines it. But yeah, I would agree. If I would choose one of the least favorite is the Dark Beast Ganon lah. So it's not that interesting lah. So yeah.
I wanna just add one more thing, one last thing. A shout out to Zant. Zant for a boss, right? Zant surprises
it's pretty
me
difficult
because it's difficult, but it's his way of him moving around.
Crazy,
crazy. It reminds me. It reminded me of Master Koga. So when it comes to villains, right? Because of villains, he before he actually fight him, right? He didn't really show much in terms of his personality.
Right.
When you fight him as a boss, right? Suddenly he become like very flexible, very likes to move around, weird, right? That's interesting. I think it's one of my first times seeing like a a villain like that's a bit more of the what's it called? Very
Correct.
unconventional. It's kind of like Joker, like that, like villain. They are not like very
Understand.
serious,
Correct.
kind, but they are actually like to talk, like to make funny movements and stuff like that. So sounds
Correct.
pretty cool.
Agree. All right. Let's give the points to this.
Oh, so yeah, sorry.
I personally think this is one of the best part of Twilight Princess. I would give it a 5 for me because I love the dungeons, I love the bosses. It's not all time perfect, but I think in general, on a average scale, most of the bosses and the dungeons are really top notch quality lah. So yeah,
I would
for
give
me
it.
it's 5.
I would give it a 5 as well. I'll give it a 5 as well. I
All
think
right.
this is what Zelda games should aim for when it comes to
Yep.
dungeons and I
The
mean
dungeons and
dungeons
boss fight.
first. Dungeons, meaning of
Yeah,
dungeons.
dungeons always correct. Yeah,
Bosses, I think at this day and
they
age,
can be a bit creative.
yeah, they need to be more creative and make it a bit more harder. Like cannot be like last time already.
Correct. Agree.
5.
All right, nice. Okay, next let's talk about the item. I think we did touch this on our dungeon talk as well, but maybe we can just be a bit more specific this time. So, yeah. So what do you think about those items? I mean, we have the ball of chain, we have the bombs, of course, the normal one, the bombs, the arrow, the hero's bow, and then you got the boomerang here, which is pretty amazing. And of course, some of the items like spinner, iron boots are very practical. I would say some of it are underutilized. Of course, the minion,
Dominion
the
Road.
minion road. Uh, and I know a lot of the general consensus is saying that the spinner is one of the least integrated item, right? Of course, both from a logical kind of perspective and from the gameplay kind of perspective. For logical itself, I mean, how do Link carry this thing around? I mean, of course, we understand there's ball and chains as well, but I think spinner is the worst kind of that. Right? And then how does it apply? It's very, despite you use it uh, pretty common, pretty usual, it still feels a bit out of the normal world kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah.
I feel like when we talk about the item, right, it sort of really shows how outdated the older Zelda formula is. Because
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
just put it this way, right? Would you use any much of these when you're fighting the blast boss? You don't, right? Whereas,
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you like, if like using like playing Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild,
Mm.
you kind of have to use all the runes or whatever that you learn, right? So okay, so when it comes to how you want to do this, you want to just share which one is our favorite.
Yeah, sure. You can lead on that. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, in terms of all the dungeon items, specific items, I think the best one for me was I
Double hook
shit.
shot.
I want to say a double hook shot, but it's just the coolest one, right? It has to be a spinner. I know it's double underutilized. I know it's underutilized, but the spinner is so
Okay.
cool, man. The way
It
it's
is. It
being
is. It
used
is.
in the dungeon,
Boss
wow.
fight. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if they explore it more, integrate it more with the
Mm.
world. I feel like that's
Well, yep. Yep.
I think there was only like
The-
one
the-
area. There was only like one area in the world that you can actually use it.
Well, there no. Actually, there were a couple of areas, right? So, but I think in general, you wanted to get those side quests done, and specifically talking about getting those treasure chests, hard pieces, kind of stuff, right?
Mm.
Hard container pieces. But it's not as it does not the how do you say the proportionate does not compare well with the size of the world, right? So it's you do just this like one or maybe a top 3 times, then that's it, right?
Yep.
So I think that might be the issue with this spinner lah. But it's not definitely a cool item, right? Yeah,
It's cool within the confines of the dungeon lah, but
yeah.
outside it's pretty useless. Like yeah, but I go something a bit different. Now. I go with the spinner. That's my favorite. What about you?
Oh, cool. Well, double claw shot is my favorite. In fact, if you put like a whole chunk of Zelda games, I would say double claw shot could be one of my top three favorite item for Zelda. But just to give a bit of consolation for Iron Boots, I love Iron Boots as well. No, it appears in Ocarina of Time, but I think the Iron Boot here is a bit unique because Ocarina of Time mainly you need it to deep dive in the lake, right? But for this Iron Boot, it's like a magnetic kind of thing. You will be able to walk on walls that have those magnetic features, kind of stuff, right? So I thought it was pretty nice.
Yeah,
So
Iron Boots
yeah,
definitely is more utilized, I think, because you not only use it in
yeah,
one boss fight,
exactly,
it sucks through the magnet. You can sink in
correct.
through the lake, and it also can fight the
They could-
Agorok
Yeah,
as
grow, and
well.
then
So okay.
correct.
Mm.
Even if you utilize it in the Sky Island because you want to manage the wind puzzle, right? So because wind will blow you away when you use this iron boat, you will be staying put at that location. I think that gives that bit of advantage
Yeah, very
to
useful.
iron boat.
Very useful.
Yeah, my least favorite, I'm gonna go with Dominion Road. It
Yeah.
feels really, yeah, it feels really, it has a lot of potential, but I don't know, maybe during the development kind of cycle, this is one of the last part of the game where they didn't put a lot of effort to fully utilize this lah.
I haven't shared mine, right? Okay lah. I do something a bit different lah. Rather than just like choose like Dominion Rod, right? I'm gonna go with
Mhm.
it's called the Uku. Basically the birds, the bird people. They are sort of this. They are sort of the what's it called, the escape dungeon kind of
Mm.
item, right? I never used it. I don't think I ever used it.
Uh,
Um,
same.
because they look creepy,
It is.
and I
Yes.
never use them. So weird,
Yep.
weird decision to
I don't know why they did that. Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
include
It's
them.
very weird.
Yeah, but
Yeah, understand. Well,
interesting.
yeah. Aside from that, you got those bottle, you got those heart piece container. I mean, that's pretty generic Zelda kind of template. But yeah, I think for me, the item for this game, I would give it. Uh, I'm again. This is just for this. I mean, if without this item, it will go up maybe 3 or 4. But just because you got this double claw shot, I'm giving it a 5 for me. I love the double just the weightage of the double claw shot is
Okay.
so big. Mm.
Okay, so if you want to count in Zelda series in general, will give you a four lah. Give you a four, just because I have so much more fun on Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. So,
Oh,
and
okay.
how
Alright,
useful
understand.
each and every skill items is.
Mm.
So I'll give it a four. Um, they need to make it
Cool.
utilize more lah, but yeah, the four is pretty
Yeah.
okay.
All right, let's talk about the pacing of this game. I think one of the things that is pretty critical for a game is how do they pace the game from one point to another point, from one part to another part, from one section to another section, and of course, it applies for both at the gameplay level and the story level as well. So yeah, let's talk about the pace of the game. Maybe you can start
Pace
off with your point. Mm.
pace of okay, how do you count, as in like, is there any like downtime, are they connected properly, stuff like that, is it, in terms of
Yeah, it could. Okay, or do you want me to go first? I said maybe we
yeah,
can give
you
them
go
a picture.
first, I
Okay,
just want to know what is it.
okay, all right, sure. So for me, the pacing of the game is the biggest issue. My biggest issue with this game.
Okay.
I know I just mentioned that the art style was really bad for this, but I
Mm-hmm.
think this game got pulled down because of the pace of the game. Why? You ask me. I'm gonna explain to you the first part of the game where Ling is in Ordon
Oh
village was
yeah,
just
okay.
oh my god, that was so difficult for me to go through. I mean, we were talking about Metroid a bit earlier today, right? So how we can just plug and play the game, right? It was pretty smooth. You don't have to think about stuff, and then it goes pop, and then you play. But this game, Twilight Princess, had a horrible 1 hour, I think about 1.5 hour kind of introduction where it was, oh my god. I mean, till this date, whenever I wanted to play this game, I had to go through that horrible introduction, the mini quest, the whatever. So that was just I
Mm-hmm.
can't bear it. So I think if there's any reason that I don't want to play this game is because that intro part. I think it's about 1 to 2 hours kind of time frame, right? And that alone brings down the game so much. Of course, there are some issue with the further part of the game where I think after a couple of I think two of the dungeons, and then you had to do that fetch quest kind of stuff to
Mm-hmm.
pass this item to get it, that one. But I think that's not as bad as it is. But this the intro part, oh, I feel it's one of the biggest issue for this game for me lah. So yeah.
I okay, because pacing wise, before last time when I played, I have nothing to compare,
Mm,
so I thought it was like
mm,
that. So I guess this was fine for me. But after I played other
uh,
games already, right, I do have to agree that the first part is take a bit long. It gets boring as well because you have to get
it
like
is. It does.
you have to
Oh,
try to
God.
find like get the fish to a path.
Oh, and to be
Yeah.
honest, Harry, it does not stop there. And then you have this part where you would need to hunt down the tears. Oh, that part is oof,
Oh
oof,
yeah.
it's bad. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, if you do it like 1 or 2 times, I would say. But this time, I think you had to do it like I think it was 4 times. Oh my god, and 4 times or 5 times, something right? And that was oh, good. I think in the HD version they had to reduce it so that it didn't become a bore fest to a lot of players because I think initially there was like 16, 16 or uh 18 of them you need to collect in each round, right? So they I think they cut it off to 14 something like that because they know that there's in I mean if you do it first time, second time you do have those fun to just collect those tiers, right? But then eventually you have to do it like 4 times, 4 or 5 times, and oh my god, I just cannot take it. That I think
True.
that applies to the pacing as well, so yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That definitely should be part of the pacing because you sort of have to
Yeah,
you have to like go to the
yeah,
whole place again, explore, get all the
yes,
tears, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
once it's done already, then
you transform into human,
yeah,
yeah.
then only you get to like, really explore the area. So I definitely agree on
Mm.
that lah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Ken, I think I agree with everything you said, especially the intro,
Oh, the
especially
intro
the
is bad.
intro, especially the intro. Yeah.
If there's again, I've been telling this again and again. If there's anything that's stopping me from replaying this amazing dungeon game, is that intro. Oh, what I mean, I mean,
Okay.
imagine you have to go through that phases of I don't know Helion or whatever, just like for 2 hours to uh endure that alone just kills me lah.
If
So,
I remember
but yeah,
correctly,
and then
right, the tears thing right came back in Twilight in Skyward Sword, right?
yeah. Yeah,
Is
it
it?
came back, but I think they reduced it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
certain
yeah, yeah. Very
yeah,
little.
because I think yeah I think they heard the complaint, and then that's one of the things that they did for Tesla.
Okay.
So I'm gonna straight give a point to this. I think this is my lowest point for this game is the pacing. I think I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. Sorry for a
Okay.
sorry, can't-
No, I the tears one I don't mind that much because when the time when I play it, I don't mind. But the introduction does take quite long lah, so I'll give it like a 3 lah, average lah, just average, just
all right, cool.
average. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we're done with most of it. So right now, let's just pull out the last two section of it. I'm gonna talk about the side quest of this game a bit. So this game does have pretty interesting side quests. I don't know whether you remember this or not. So we had this what you call the mini games,
Mm-hmm.
the fishing mini
Oh
game,
yeah.
the
Okay.
fruit
Fine.
pop mini,
Basically. Okay.
the roll gold, and one of the best was the snowboarding kind of stuff. And of course, this includes your buck hunting, and then your what you call your howling stones, right? So I think the skill set that you wanted to see, and then I think there was a rumor that the skeleton champion was Link from Majora's Mask, right? So I think, yeah. What do you think about the side quest? What about the extra content for this game?
The ones that ask me to collect stuff, right? Usually I don't care. Like
You got
the
posts, you got
pose, I
golden bugs, yeah.
don't really like it. The pose, I don't really like it. The one that the turning the man from gold
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to normal, I don't really care about. Basically, it's a polar, right?
Mm.
What
Oh, it's
else?
the golden scatula thing lah with Ocarina of Time, right? So this time we were doing the pole, right, instead of the
Yeah,
scutula, right?
the one that I liked the most, I think, was the snowboarding. I think the snow. Okay, so
Oh,
I remember already. The snowboarding and also the bird. The bird, the
the
flying
bird,
bird
yeah,
thing.
the bird, nice, yep, agree. I
Because the
think,
bird
yeah,
is
the
a
bird, nice.
part of the quest, right? It's a part of the storyline, right?
Correct,
So I find that it's pretty
correct.
interesting. That one is sort of like a on
Yep,
rails shooter kind of a thing.
correct,
I like
correct.
that variety of change of
Yeah,
variety in terms of gameplay. That and the
correct.
snowboarding, lah.
You have the Yeah, and then you have the boat thing as well, and then the flying thing as well. So
Oh yeah, it's kind of sort
the
of quite
yeah,
similar in a
pretty
way.
interesting. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
pretty
put them
interesting, right?
as same lah. So that and also the snowboarding, the collectathon one I didn't know really lah. I'm too
Yeah, I
much.
think the pose was slightly better than the Skulltula, because I think Skulltula you have like 100 of them, and then you don't have a lot of. I think for Ocarina of Time you need to use the hearing help, because only when you hear there's like a some weird crunching sound, then there's a
Cracking like
spider
that.
there.
Yep, yep.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm,
But for
mm-hmm.
this one, you would use the wolf lamb to know where the pose.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy.
Oh no, sorry. It's not
But
wolf lamb, is it? The wolf scent,
uh,
is it?
yeah, sand. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, sand, not lamb. You're correct, the sand. So I thought a bunch of it are pretty okay. My personal favorite is the Hauling Stone, where you would learn the special extra skill
But is that a side
around.
quest? I thought that was
It,
like
yeah, it
a.
is.
I thought that was like
No, no, it's a side quest.
it goes with the story.
No, it's a side quest.
Is
So
it?
the Hauling Stone is a side quest. So
Okay.
yeah, you don't have to get it to complete the game.
Huh.
So
Okay. Interesting.
and then heart piece location. I mean, very interesting. I mean, again, it applies to the world map as well. So the world is pretty huge, and there's a lot of things to do. So in general, I would give this a 4 out of 5. I thought the fishing game alone is fun stuff. Whatever that we got from Ocarina of Time back then. So I thought, yeah, the extra is pretty good, pretty solid. I would give it a 4 out of 5 for me.
4 or 5 as well. Mainly
All right.
the bird one. The
Just
bird is quite interesting.
snowboarding,
Very
right?
scary looking bird,
Right.
shadow bird kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
Huh,
Like a
okay.
skeleton kind of, right? Very
Yeah,
nice.
that's
Yeah, I know.
cool. I like that one. 4 or 5.
All right. I I think we've covered most of it. So now we're left with the last part.
Music.
Music. Yeah. This part I'm gonna be a bit critical. Uh, and I thought there were a couple of dungeons where the music was pretty spooky. I think the sky dungeon.
That was fun. That was.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Very spooky. It delivers. It
Why?
delivers the theme. Yeah.
That was.
uh,
No-
and then just a bit of credit to this game. I think the Minna song is amazing.
Yep.
Both the sad song and the happy song. Well, not the sad song and the adventure song for Minna are pretty amazing. And then I think in terms of the way that they deliver the sound effect with the dark theme was nice as well. And one good credit for this game was the theme song for this game is very dark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was pretty epic. It feels like very Conan, very Lord of the Ring. Yeah, more like a Lord of the Ring kind of. Uh, and I thought it was amazing. So I'm gonna give it a 4 for me.
Okay. For me, I got goosebumps on the Hyrule one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hyrule one is one of the best. I think I find it's one of the best Hyrule Field.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Hyrule Field,
Yeah.
I like this one, and the second, then the next alteration is the Spirit Tracks one. I like Spirit Tracks one.
That's
I
very
like
nice.
that one.
Yeah.
It really shows the
Mm.
vastness of the Twilight Princess
Correct.
Hyrule Field. It shows the
Correct.
adventure tracks in Spirit Tracks.
Correct.
So
Spirit
that's
track. Yeah.
one. And next music I love the most, I don't call it trolley. I love Mellow Mart's music. When you enter into Mellow Mart, the small little kid, you get into the shop, and
Mm.
then he has that jingle. Da, da,
Oh
da,
yeah,
da,
yeah,
da,
yeah.
da, da. I love
Correct.
that,
Correct. Yeah.
and then people actually
Yeah. Yeah.
making dancing. I don't know, that was pretty cute.
Yeah, pretty
So
good. Yep. Yep. Nice.
these two actually gave me the most impression, lah. But
Mm.
I think music wise, I have no complaint from this game at all.
Yeah, it delivers
Um,
pretty well. I mean, in terms of the tone, the theme, right? We can
yeah.
feel that they really nail it down with whatever they wanted, and then that's amazing, like.
One
I mean,
honorable mention, I think, Temple of Time. I feel
oh yeah,
the music really
yeah,
feels like it's being played in a closed cathedral
mm,
area. That was
yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, I remember that one.
magical. You can feel that there's a church like kind of magical, right? Right. So it's you're right,
Yeah.
right. I
Lake
agree with
Hylia
that.
also pretty cool. Let's say that. Let's just put it. Lake Hylia
Yep,
also
yep.
is
Yeah,
very.
in general, yeah, in general, I think the OST, the sound effect for this game is pretty top notch, lah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay, I'll give
yep,
it
that's
a. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. You gave 4 out of 5.
yeah.
I give it a 5 out of 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty good
All
score.
right.
Pretty good scores.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna I have to agree with you. I'm gonna give it a 5 as well because I think there's nothing that I of course there's those spooky sound laughing cuckoos laughing that was pretty spooky, but I think that it applies to that theme lah, especially with that character itself, right? It's like, ooh, what the heck are you guys, man?
I mean, does
Yeah,
it like
nice.
is it like sort of want to convey a fallen kingdom?
I guess
Is it?
so. I don't know,
I don't know.
but there's laughing into it. I don't know why would they laugh, but it was like, oh my
Yeah,
god, that's like.
that was a weird choice, but it did
And
what
then
it did.
you're basically up there in the sky, right? And alone, right? Nobody else. Oof.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I think we are done with kita punya deep dive kali ni. Kita dah bagi markah semua, agak mantap lah markah dia kata. So let me just uniquely enough, I think both of us are scoring at total score same point. So we got like 36 out of 50. Wait, sorry, let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 36 out of 45. Yep, 36 out of 45.
I
So
mean,
both of us, yeah. So with that, let me just do a bit of calculation on this. So 36 out of 45. 6, 45. So this game got an 80% points for 80 out of 100 lah. So basically it's 80 out of
sounds
100.
about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, well, let's be honest, Zelda games are definitely above average lah. I mean, even the worst of the games are still pretty solid, right? So I think 80 out of 100 is a pretty good point for Twilight Princess. And I again, I'm just gonna reiterate this game. I know I've said this. I think this Zelda, despite I being one of my least favorite Zelda, we cannot we cannot argue that some of the uh I think feature of this game are pretty top notch. I mean, you're talking about the dungeons, the OST. They are up there, right? So I don't know. Yeah, it's just an amazing quality of game. Just that for me, among Zelda game, I would put this under my lower half of the game lah.
Okay, I mean, no worries. I mean, for me, it's more on the memories that came with it because it was the first
Oh
3D
yeah,
Zelda.
nostalgic. Right.
Yeah.
No, actually, you're right. I did you it, back then it was one of my favorite. I think, but eventually, as time goes by, as we got a more later reiteration, and then we were able to see a lot more potential with the new ones. And then going back to this was a bit, I think it feels a bit off because of, especially on the intro part. I think if they can fix that intro part right, I think that would give it an extra boost for me to just take this game as one of my favorite lah. So, but yeah, all right, great stuff here. Terima kasih, Harry. It was a very delightful kind of view that you presented, and yeah, this is a very good session. Twilight Princess, of course, had some weaknesses, but it's still an amazing game. Back then, even now. So, terima kasih para pendengar. Again, thank you, Harry, for your input. Just want to share a bit, Harry, on this. I'm planning to do a next session, where we're gonna pitch for our Zelda game. All the panels gonna pitch for our Zelda game. If it's gonna be uh, themed like a cyberpunk version of the Zelda game.
Wow, Cyberpunk
Kan, faham tak?
Zelda.
We're gonna pitch. I mean, everyone gonna each of us gonna prepare like a idea gameplay. Then we're gonna share and say, yeah, cyberpunk version of Zelda game. Sounds interesting kan? Macam best kan?
Crazy.
Yeah, right. Alright, thank you para pendengar. Terima kasih semua. Hopefully to see you guys again next round. And seperti biasa, saya host anda, Reez, checking out. And thank you, Harry. Terima kasih juga para pendengar. Jumpa lagi live seterusnya. Podcast Lagenda Zelda. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.